Welcome to this week's episode of 60 Seconds with the Superintendent. Well, one thing that's evolved rapidly is how we communicate. I can remember, and I may be dating myself, but in college, sending my first email. Well, today, whether it's the internet, social media, blogging, there's so many different ways that we can communicate and share what we learn. And podcasting is one of those. This week, we're at Strongsville High School to see how some of our classes are using podcasting to share what they've been learning. Let's take a look.
Very cool how everyone was able to adapt to the new.
This is the first year that I've done podcasting in the classroom, and I was really excited to try it out, and it worked real well. So the students got into groups, they created a script based on research they had done and an outline they created based on their research. They collaborated together to create one single podcast on their topic. So it's all set up so walking into the Mustang room with the 4 podcast setups that Mark Holmes set up, brand new to me. So I was learning the technology right along with the students. And instead of a presentation when you're doing it yourself, you have to work with others. It's not just the presentation there, but creating the script, working together, communicating that. So you're communicating before the podcast, and then during the podcast, you have to articulate clearly and enunciate and all those things. And of course, you can listen back and you can add fun things like sound effects, background music, those things that you would hear in a podcast that you listen to on a day-to-day basis. Last week, we had the opportunity as district tech coaches to go present at the OETC conference down in Columbus. It was real nice to be able to share examples from AP seminar or other teachers in the building share how they use podcasting, both listening and creating podcasts in their classroom to fit their different content areas. I felt like it did a great job preparing them. I think it did a good job working on their speaking skills for their presentations here as part of their AP test. And one of the students in a feedback said that this was, in their junior year, one of the favorite projects that they did, creating podcasts, and it was unlike anything they had done before.
For podcasting, you really have to focus on voice inflection and making sure that you are talking with like a good tone. It really helps with the overall course of AP seminar because it really coincided with what we were doing and the essential skills required for the class, like communication and then overall presenting skills. And it was a really unique way of doing that with using podcasting instead of like straight up presenting to an audience.
My topic for the podcast was people and how they can affect climate change. And I feel like in doing this podcast, it really helped me with my presentation skills. So I was pulling the information not only from my mind, but from the script too. And I had to use the voice inflection because there was no visual aid, no one could see my face, so I really had to take that information like a step further.
At the beginning, podcasting was like it's a whole new thing for me. Not only does it give you like life lessons and it teaches you like how to like work with things, but you're incorporated in a group setting. We want it to be very minimalistic. But we found a roadblock that it couldn't be minimalistic because there's just so much, right? So we took a lot of time where we sat in a group, we discussed our pros and our cons, and then we really just set up plans. So we just did blocks of, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go back and review it all, and that's what we basically did. And then we came to our final product.
What skills our students need to exhibit that go beyond just learning the information, but how to communicate that effectively to an audience? So as we think about our Model Mustang competencies, being empowered, being resilient, being innovative, being collaborative, all of those are embodied in the work that our students are doing in podcasting as well as in our classrooms each day. As always, thanks for watching and go make it a great Mustang week.